Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 31 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling. As far as we'll be almost in year two here in a little bit, as we just have the rest of 2021, and then we'll have half of the next episode as well, and then we'll be into 2022. It is New Japan Pro Wrestling's World Tag League, and I am very, very excited to see how this tag league is going to go, as I think it's going to be quite the tag league, as we have really every year we try to get better and better. I think this is a really good crop of tag teams in this year's tag league. It's going to be hard to top the previous one though. There was a lot of great teams in that one as well. But for this year's bracket, it looks like this is the Kyak Pitbulls, of course, former tag team champions, and being able to look to maybe bounce back and get a big win here in this tag league to face Joe Doring and Ashino at the Wrestle Kingdom show. Disciples of Darkness, of course, representing Dark Order, Calvin Tankman, Will Hobbs, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Katsuyori Shibata, the returning Hiroshi Tanahashi, going to be teaming up with Shibata again, which that should be a lot of fun to see how they do. Jay White and Miro of the House of Torture. That's going to be a very fun team and a very top-level team there. Joe Doring and Shotaro Ashino, of course, the tag champs, of course, the team representing Task Force Death. Minoru Suzuki and Tai Chi of Suzuki-gun coming back after being a part of last year's tournament, representing Suzuki-gun. And, we never know when might be Suzuki's final tag league, so you always got a preference that could potentially be the final tag league. As Satoshi Kojima and Hayato Tamura as the 7th team on the list, as Satoshi Kojima and Hayato Tamura, of course, won 2/3 of the New Japan's the 6-man New Japan Strong. Oh my God, I said New Japan Strong. The the 6-man never openweight 6-man titles. As as far as obviously we don't want to have Ten Koji involved, because even though Satoshi Kojima and Hiroshi Tenzan, they have a lot of history there as far as being one of the greatest tag teams ever for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Fortunately, Tenzan's stats are just not there as far as obviously being at the tail end of his career. But Hayato Tamura, though, out of the young lion phase officially, so that's cool as well. So that's why I really wanted to put him in there as well. It's kind of like his return as like an active member. It's kind of weird because he's still like doing shows in AEW and whatnot, but he's like a big deal now, as far as him being able to pin guys and whatnot. So that should be fun. Representing Team Filthy, Tom Lawler and Josh Alexander. Should be very fun to see how they do in this tag league. The Young Bucks, of course, the team that fouled to win it last year, and they end up succeeding in that fact and end up winning the belts at the first night of Wrestle Kingdom. Then, of course, night 2 beating the Guerrillas of Destiny. And then our final team, United Rage, as for United Rage, the Great Okan and Katsuya Kitamura. Team that has a lot of potential, but can they deliver in a big time setting like this when you have a lot of great tag teams? We shall see, as each show is going to have 6 matches, 5 of course being from this tag league, and then we'll have one more match which mostly will be used to help build up for Wrestle Kingdom. So that's going to be fun, as I have added, I believe, every single match that will be added. So we'll just be adding stuff from the pre-show or the pre-booking screen, and we'll be ready to go here, as we really have no tour goals because the main focus is on the tag league. So we'll just go on and they got us in the Tokyo Dome for this first show. We'll see. We'll probably be changing that, but again, we'll keep on using Cablevision for us. Actually, we'll deselect that because I got a bad feeling about this. Anytime it's a tag league as the focus, we probably shouldn't be putting all our eggs in that basket, but we'll say, because I got a 74 the last time we ran here, as far as that was in front of 6,500 people, so it's going to be a lot more people this time around. As Milano Collection AT passing on psychology tips to Yazutaka Yano. As for the show venue, definitely not Kendo. Chubu's not a bad idea, as far as if we could find a nice little stadium, or even this general gymnasium, 10,000. Or we could go with the stadium here, or the Toyota Stadium, but we'll probably go with this one. That's crazy, as that's a huge ass stadium. But for our main event, that's a good question. Because probably this during Ashino Kek Pitbulls match as the main. Seems pretty fair to me, as the Kek Pitbulls will be beating the tag champs on the first night. Ishii's going to pin Joe Doring. Huge win for the Kek Pitbulls. Then the co-main, oh boy, this is not the greatest. Maybe this could be the co-main. To have LIJ, Chaos. Ooh, it's not that great of a match either, but Sonata will be beating Yoshihashi in this one. Well, actually, I haven't beat. No, that's fine. I guess we're giving it 16 there. But afterwards, Sonata's going to get on the microphone and say, for 8 years now, he's been involved in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Almost 8 years now. As far as probably a little. Now I'm thinking off the top of my head, because I want to say he came back, or he rather debuted in 2016. But it might have been 2015. I'm thinking. Either way, 7-8 years later. It's kind of weird because now we're at the end of 2021. But Hiromu Takahashi and Sonata afterwards, the match, Sonata gets on the microphone and says that his entire tenure in New Japan Pro Wrestling, he's never had a singles title, and he's wanting to change that at Wrestle Kingdom. And he challenges his stablemate, Hiromu Takahashi, who accepts. And we have our Intercontinental title now matchup set in stone for Wrestle Kingdom, as the LIJ stablemates will be battling it out for the Intercontinental title. So that should be a lot of fun there. Because it's weird with these 4 matches. Because this could be good. This could be good. But I think Pop's not really going to be there. The Bucks will do well. Harold Tamura should probably do pretty well as well. Same thing with this match. Like, there's people that will do well, but not, like, great, at the same time. So it's odd. It's an odd matchup. But I think we're going to have this be the co-main, actually. The Bucks versus Kojima and Tamura, as Nick Jackson's going to beat Satoshi Kojima. Because I got a lot of faith in the Bucks. We'll have that, yeah. And then probably one more match before that. I think we're going to go with Jay White and Miro. Oh, this is a technical masterclass. Never mind. We'll have this open up the show as Miro and Minoru Suzuki. As Miro's going to beat Minoru Suzuki, which I'm sure Suzuki... Oh, wow. Suzuki didn't complain one bit. Tanahashi and Shibata against United Rage, as Shibata's going to beat Katsuya Kitamura there. We'll have that one. Yeah, I guess we'll have the top 2 and then the bottom 3. Yeah, I guess that's just how we're going to place this out, because Calvin Tankman and Filthy Tom Lawler will be the how the match finishes for this Disciples of Darkness and Team Filthy matchup. That's going to be 2 points for Disciples of Darkness. Part of me wants to put that kind of in between there, too. It's tough. It's tough. I think that's how we're going to set this up, though. Very interesting. Very interesting how we're going to set this up, but I think this is for the best. And hopefully it's a banger, that main event, and we'll be able to have a pretty good show out of this. Let's see. Wow, 72. So I figured I'd do pretty well, even with Suzuki with a 61. The technical match class really working out well. Yeah, we probably should give that a little bit more time. That's okay. That is alrighty. As a 65 for the Disciples of Darkness versus Filthy Tom and Josh Alexander. Tankman pinning Tom Lawler after the Doomsday Plunge in 24:02. See, Hobbs and Tankman doing really well. So was Josh Alexander, too. Just, Tom Lawler just a little far behind. The 72 for the Tanahashi Shibata versus the Great Okan and Katsuya Kitamura matchup, as Shibata with the ankle lock over Katsuya Kitamura in 1938. Oh, wow, this actually did pretty well. This 6-man, a little too short again. It's a great performance from Hiromu, as got the crowd buzzing as well. But Sonata and Bushi and Hiromu with a 93. I mean, that's insane. And Sonata tapping out. Yoshihashi with the skulls in. Let's see how oh, wow, actually did 73. Yeah, Sonata actually did pretty shit, but Hiromu doing pretty well for that angle as well. 77 for the Bucks against Satoshi Kojima and Naoya Tamura, as the Bucks getting the win as Nick Jackson with the Meltzer driver over Kojima. Yeah, I mean, right decision there. And our main event, it's an 80. We'll take it, as far as at least is the best match on the card. But Shotaro Ashino and Joe Doring losing to the Kyak Pitbulls, as Tomoe Ishii the GTR Lariat after the GTR and the Lariat, pinning Joe Doring. As, yeah, everybody did really well, but Hiroki Goto there. We decreased our pop. Damn. But I think it's still a pretty good show. It just wasn't at the level that it should be, really, for our size of our promotion. But everything did really well, though, besides this. I mean, it's kind of crazy that 65 was the worst thing on the card, but what can you do? You know, what can you do? We'll give some love to Ishii there. We're going to give some love to the Great Okan, actually. He did pretty well for where he's kind of positioned at. So give him some love. And Hiromu Takahashi for his performance in his matchup. And that 6-man really was the bread and butter of that match. Alright, let's see how night 2 goes. As we got a lot of backstage incidents. Now it's for versus court accused of making a mess backstage without cleaning up, annoying everyone else, as the judge Hiroshi Tanahashi found them guilty and sent them to clean up, then buy drinks right after the show. It's Kojima passing on microphone work to Tamura, and Ishii passing on tips on selling to Tomoya Hirata. As for this show, again, we don't want to kind of run... Yeah, we should probably run... even if we run the Okayama Muro Hall, I think that's just going to be better than running the Hiroshima Sun Plaza and, you know, costing us $11,000, and we can just run here for $600, and we can definitely make our money back for sure. As for the main, that's a great... I mean, this, for sure. Young Bucks versus Task Force Death, which is going to go in a draw. So 1 point each for each team. Tough start for the tag champs, losing then having a draw the very next night. As for the co-main, that's a great question. I mean, this is probably, as far as name value, but we have this as Techno Masterclass, so probably be the first of the matches, as Ishii's going to, Ishii rather, Shibata is going to beat Suzuki, and that's going to be another 2 points for the Tanahashi Shibata team. So we know that's going to kick off the show. This could probably be the co-main, I guess. Jay White and Miro against Filthy Tom and Josh Alexander. As Filthy Tom taking the loss to Jay White. Yeah, then probably, I know it's kind of weird that I want this to kind of be... Because Brody and Evil is a pretty good matchup to take on take on Power E and Shelton Benjamin, as it's going to be set for Steal the Show, and Evil's going to beat Shelton Benjamin there. Obviously building up to the Brody Lee Power E matchup. So thinking maybe here, right, smack dab in the middle again. And have this will probably be the second match. Tamura and Kojima against the Disciples of Darkness. Tankman's going to be beating Kojima in 18 minutes. As the Garrick Pitbulls and the United Rage. The Great Okan will be beating Hiroki Goto. After beating the tag champs, they're going to lose the United Rage. Great win, as Hiroki Goto is going to complain about it. Got a change of heart after noticing the intimidating sight of the Great Okan cracking his knuckles and glaring. Way to go, Okan. Way to be a fucking savage. But this should be a really good match, actually. I think, hopefully. Fingers crossed there. That is night 2. And we'll see how it goes. As a 72, I mean, again, we're really having a great, strong openers here. As Shibata tapping out Minoru Suzuki with ankle lock at 17:05. Tanahashi is 78-64 for Shibata, 58 for Suzuki, and 45 for Taichi. The 60 for Hayato Tamura and Satoshi Kojima against the Disciples of Darkness. Tankman pinning Kojima with the Doomsday Plunge. Yeah, I mean, everybody did just about the same besides Kojima. You know, 57, 56, 54, and then 45. So 58 for the Garrick Pitbulls against the United Rage, as Great Okan with a Cobra Clutch over Hiroki Goto on 20:05. Ishii with a 68. 54 Hiroki Goto. Great Okan with a 46. And 44 for Katsuya Kitamura. We're trying to make a guy in the Great Okan there as a 73. So yeah, this definitely did better than I imagined, as Evil pinning Shelton Benjamin with the Everything is Evil, 13:37. Great match, though, for the Dark Order team. Great night for the Dark Order. 72, though, for our co-main. It's Jay White Miro beating Filthy Tom Lawler and Josh Alexander, as Jay White with the Blade Runner in 2026. Jay White with 77, 74 for Miro. 55s, 54s for the Team Filthy team. And an 82 main time limit draw. Yeah, as far as Ashino did a little bit better than Matt Jackson, and then Nick did a little bit better than Joe Doring. Love the match though. Love that we get to do a draw, and yeah, just definitely was a very good night to have. To have a 79 like that, to bounce back a little bit, nice to see. So yeah, all around, I have no complaints with that show. No complaints at all. As yeah, I mean, we're just gonna be rolling right along here. Everything's gonna go pretty fast. We didn't even really show like the final show that we have because obviously you don't want to give anything away. So I mean, we're just gonna be rolling right along here. But we'll see how everything goes. So far, it's been a pretty exciting couple of days. I think so. As far as from my perspective, as we'll see. Oh yeah. So hey, Al Zamora, he's got a weird contract going on for a little bit. We had him, be on like a excursion deal, so it turned him into a handshake deal. But I said, fuck it. Might as well, now that we know that he's not a young lion anymore, we could kind of keep him as exclusive talent for 9 months at least, and then once the excursion's up, we can just re-sign him again. So that's what we're going to do. So, hey, Zamora, let's see how many matches he had for AEW. As far as, I guess he had a couple here. Yeah, he had a couple of dark appearances. So that's cool. And he was even working All Japan too again. He was on excursion. But that was nice to change. And even though I don't think he won at all in any of the matches, yeah, it was 11 straight losses for him. But he definitely, I think, earned his stripes just in a short bit of time. With, with us booking him as well and All Japan booking him. It's just perfect storm for him to finally get out of the young lion phase. And now he is ready to go. Very, very excited to see what he can do now. Only the sky's the limit for him going forward, as yeah, we have to take a couple of day break. We'll be back for day 3. Alright, day 3 of this tag league, as we got a 72 last time around. It's actually a really good show. Sonata, Shingo, Brody and Evils, the main, co-main, Cat Pitbulls and the Super Iron Destroyers, a team that just missed out thanks to Jeff Cobb being a POS, showed up just as far as almost got sent to rehab, but the suspension came up, I think, after the second day. We had him on the strong taping here just this past Wednesday, and he's still doing pretty well, so that's nice to see, but definitely cost his team and him and Toanari a very costly opportunity, which sucks to see. As for the show here, it's for day 3. I don't think we'll be running the... I don't know, though. We might have to run... Oh, we can run Kyushu, I guess, because I think there's a... Maybe not. No, there's just the big-ass venues for Kyushu. Kanto's still slightly... A couple of places just kind of slightly more than anything. Yeah, I guess, we're going to run Nomura Hall for 450 people. Or we just kind of be a little under half capacity. Which I guess we'll just do this time since we kind of saved money on the second day. We'll see what we got. As for our main, I do know we have this tag match of Naito, Ibushi, and Okada and Francesco, which will be really good. We'll probably have that be maybe a co-main, maybe not. It depends on if there's anything really good. This should be pretty good, though. Joe Doring and Ashino against Disciples of Darkness. Also, this Jay White, Miro, Tanahashi, Shibata match is pretty good. Yeah, I think this is going to be a hell of a match, though. Tanahashi will be getting the win for his Tanahashi and Shibata team against Jay White and Miro. That's going to be a big win for them. As for the co-main, though, I don't know why it didn't... That was weird. Huh, I wonder why I didn't add it. There we go, but at least it did this time. Co-main's going to be tough. I have a feeling Joe Doring and Ashino against the Disciples of Darkness, I feel like that's going to be a really, really good matchup. That should probably be it. As Joe Doring against Calvin Tankman getting the win for the Task Force Death team over the Disciples of Darkness. I really gave it a thought. It was like, man, should we give them a win? They hadn't had a 2-on-2 match before, so I just felt like it was best to give it to the tag champs, but, could have won either way, honestly. We're going to go again with the Naito, as far as like the non-tournament matchup here. Set this for Steelers shows Okada for the Okada Francesco team against LIJ's team of Tetsuya Naito and Bushi, as Okada's going to hit the Rainmaker, hopefully, on Bushi there to get the win. Probably, it's tough. I think probably the Suzuki Taichi Kak Pitbulls match next. Oh, no, we have this technical match class. Never mind. But Taichi will be getting the win for Suzuki-gun against the Kak Pitbulls, as Taichi is going to be beating her girl. I know they've had a match. Oh, no, they haven't. I was thinking they did. But I think that was Minoru Suzuki and Davey Boy. So that's cool, though, to have Suzuki and Taichi have a match against the Kak Pitbulls and have them get the win, too. So we know that that's going to open up the show. So we'll go with the Bucks and United Rage next, which Nick Jackson's going to get the win for the Bucks over United Rage. I gave it a thought. But I was like, we better not. We better not have them win. As, and that's the next matchup. Filthy Tom and Josh Alexander, Team Filthy, are going to get the win. As we gotta take that off. So it's Kojima taking the TKO from Josh Alexander. That's a great win for the Team Filthy team. They'll need that for sure. It's a pretty good card, though, I think. And we'll see what happens on the show. As, we got a 59 for the opener. As the Kak Pitbulls taking the loss to Suzuki-gun. As Minoru Suzuki's the best guy in the match. So I like that. Taichi was outperformed by Goto, but definitely, it hurt Ishii's rating, but I think as a whole, it was still a pretty good opener. It just wasn't on the same level we've had in the past couple of openers we've had during the tournament. 57 here as Josh Alexander pinning Satoshi Kojima with the TKO. It's 17-30. Great win for Josh Alexander, but this could have went either way. Tamura was the best guy in the match, which is awesome for him. But, Josh Alexander, we've been kind of waiting on him to really get going over in Japan, because he's been great on Strong, and has been a great part of that. But as far as over in Japan, obviously, it's kind of been like second fiddle. So, nice win for him there in the tournament, as the 68 for the Young Bucks against United Rage. The Bucks get the win as Nick Jackson pinning Katsuya Kitamura after the Meltzer driver in 1755. It's a hell of a finish for the Young Bucks. 81 for Okada and Francesco against Naito and Bushi. So Okada with the Rainmaker in 1745. Really good match, as far as that goes. Francesco, worst guy in the match. It's crazy to think about, but really good stuff. There's building up to that U.S. title matchup as the Task Force Death Tag Team Champs, Joe Doering and Shotaro Ashino, beating the Disciples of Darkness in 2005. It's Joe Doering pitting Calvin, taking him with the Revolution Bomb. That's a big fucking guy to be hitting a Revolution Bomb on, but still, right team getting the win there, even though we contemplated it. Contemplated the upset. But the 77 for the main, as Hiroshi Tanahashi, with the Texas Cloverleaf win. I was hoping for the High Fly Flow. That's alright, as he makes Jay White tap out in 28:01. So Tanahashi with 77. 75 for Jay White, 68 for Miro, and then Shibata's really off his game. I think it would have been a little closer had obviously he been on his game, but so away she goes. Still a really good match, though. As far as it wasn't better than the non-tournament matchup, but that's okay. I still like the structure of all this, though. I do like that. As the 76 will take it, but keep on increasing pop somewhere. Not sure where, but we keep on doing it. It's on to the next night here, and we're getting down almost at the halfway point of the tournament. Still, a lot of big-time matches to be had, but I'm liking what everything's going on. No one's gotten hurt or anything like that, so that's always a great sign. On to the next night we go. Alright, as far night 4, day 4. Of course, after this show, we'll take a look at the standings, see where everybody's at, and we got a couple of backstage incidents. Tanahashi entertaining the locker room by organizing a poker tournament. Way to go, Yuji Nagata passing on tips on microphone work to the Great Okan, as then Milano Collection AT passing on tips of psychology to Yasutaka Yano. Alright. As for the venue, again, Kanto's still not ready yet. Osaka's ready to go, though, so we can run here if we want. Take a look and see where, as far as what's going to be the main. This probably could be a good main event. Kak Pitbulls, Tanahashi, and Shibata. Really like that. As far as I think that's probably our main. Yeah, we'll go with that. Tanahashi getting the win over the Cockpit Bulls. It's a great win for Tanahashi and company, as Tanahashi's going to beat Goto there. Going to give him 26. Oh, Shibata's the agent. Then, as far as the co-main, that's a tough call. I was thinking the Bucks, Suzuki, and Taichi. Honestly, Nick Jackson's going to get the win over Taichi there. Then the tag champs against Filthy Tom and Josh Alexander. As Joe Doring's going to beat Josh Alexander. Great win for the Task Force Death team. Then probably Jay White and Miro against Satoshi Kojima and Hayata Tamura. Is Jay White going to beat Kojima in 23 minutes? A little bounce back match for them. And the Cyborgs of Darkness against United Rage. Setting this for Steal the Show. 18 minutes as Hobbs is going to beat the Great Old Khan. And the opener for the Technical Masterclass matchup is it's a Junior Six-Man as the Junior Six-Man team of Suzuki-gun as El Desperado, Shadiba Kanemaru, and Doki against Caristico, Senda de Oro, and Samurai del Sol. Senda de Oro going to get the win over Doki there. Should be a pretty good matchup, but this is going to be the first time where we have all five, as far as, on the top in the openers, a non-tournament matchup. So I think it's going to be nice. And, let's run the show here. We've been kind of breezing through these. There's a 58 for this sixth man. That's Senda de Oro tapping out Doki. The El Incognito Especial. Samurai del Sol, and obviously Caristico. This is Caristico's return, as he has been out for a while. Nice to see him bounce back in a big way. Senda de Oro getting the win, though, and he got a 44, did the same as Despy. Really just, the right team wins, though, in the end. So that's nice. 58, though, for this matchup, as Great O'Connor was a little bit tired out there. That made sense. I figured that we probably would have put a little too much onto those guys, but all around, still a pretty good match, as Disciples of Darkness get the win with the Doomsday Plunge. In 1805, a 70 for Jay White and Miro against Hayata Tamura and Satoshi Kojima. It's Tamura in the 50s now. It's Jay White pinning Kojima for the Blade Runner in 2256. That's nice. Kojima 47. 74 for Jay White, 68 for Miro. It was off his game. Another 70 as Joe Doring and Shotaro Ashino. Task Force Death against Filthy Tom Lawler and Josh Alexander as Joe Doring. But they Revolution Bomb over Josh Alexander in 1939. Some nice wins for Joe Doring. Back-to-back nights picking up the victory. Another 70 as the Young Bucks against Taichi and Suzuki as Nick Jackson with the Meltzer driver over Taichi. It's another nice win for the Bucks. Then our main event is 75. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Katsura Shibata beating the Cockpit Bulls of Tomohiro Ishii and Hiroki Goto. Definitely the right decision there, but you got four staples of really of New Japan. Really the previous decade, specifically, you had with Shibata and Goto obviously teaming in the past, and now facing off each other with their new kind of respective partners. I think that just the story made itself. But Tanahashi again with a technical relief over Hiroki Goto. Would love to see him finish people's high fly flow, but that's okay. But another 73. We just keep on getting the mid-70s. It is what it is. It is what it is. As we'll take a look at the standings here after our 4 nights are done and over with. And, a lot's happened. We got a lot of top teams, and so far they've really been delivering in a big way. We've also seen some upsets. We've seen, of course, the tag champs losing the first night. We've seen, as far as Shibata and Tanahashi, they've had some tough matches, like beating the Jay White Miro team. So I'm sure they're going to be at the top of the list here. So, of course, loading screen wants to take a while on us, so we're going to have to wait a little bit. There we go. As we'll take a look. I could have swore we had it at the bottom there, but I guess not. I guess it's... It got changed around, but that's okay. As for the tournament standings, Tanahashi and Shibata have 8 points, 4-0 so far, and getting a win over Jay White and Miro is very big, as well as the Bucks are in second with 7, thanks to the draw with Joe Doring and Ashino. Disciples of Darkness and Jay White and Miro with 6. The tag champs, Joe Doring and Shotaro Ashino with 5. You have really nobody with 4, which is interesting. A lot of people with 2 points. The Cockpit Bulls, which is crazy. The Minoru Suzuki and Taichi. Tom Lawler and Josh Alexander, and the United Rage team. And then rounding up the group, starting off 0 for 4, Satoshi Kojima and Hayata Tamura. Tough start for him. but a lot of tournaments still left, and they might still finish with a good bit of points. They got some guys still left to face, so should be interesting to see how this finals kind of plays out, because really you have quite the top, really from a top four, and really, the tag champs being that fifth team there with 5. A lot can still happen. As on to day 5 we go. We'll see what day 5 has in store for us here, as we got a couple of backstage incidents. Looks like it's some Young Lion stuff. Is passing on tips on using psychology. It's Milana Collection AT to Yasu Takayano, and then Ishii passing on tips on selling to Tomoya Harada. Alright, so you're in Corkin last year here on day 5. Brody Lee and Evil against the Kayak Pitbulls. Pretty big, as still not going to be running Kanto. We're going to try to hold that off as much as we can, though I don't think we're going to be running Kanto, though. Now I'm thinking about it at the final show, just with us running. Maybe not, though. We'll see. As the Sendai Sun Plaza, in case we want to go. Yeah, we'll probably just go with the... Yeah, we'll go with this one here. The economy is kind of falling, but the wrestling industry is rising, though. So we got that. As far as this main event goes for this night, yeah, it's either going to be one or the other here. I think we're going to go with Tanahashi Shibata against the Bucks, as the Bucks will be beating the Hiroshi Tanahashi Katsuyori Shibata team. Nick Jackson, I'm assuming it's going to be a Meltzer driver over Katsuyori Shibata. Let's give it to Matt Jackson, as Nick's been getting a lot of wins. Let's give it to Matt, just to change it up a little bit. Shibata a little upset. Maybe Nick has better pop, so maybe this will breeze over a little bit easier. Nope, didn't really matter, so we get to see that for a third time. That's great. And we'll keep him strong, though. There we go. So that's a huge, turn of the guard as far as having now the Bucks in the lead. So that's going to be huge. Didn't mean to hit that one. So we'll just back out and go to Jay White Miro against the Kayak Pitbulls. That's definitely going to be the co-main, as Jay White getting the win over the Kayak Pitbulls for his House of Torture team. So he's going to be beating Goto there. And probably the tag champs against Kojima and Hayato Tamura. And so we're going to set this for Steal the Show. We're going to go 20. We're probably going to bump that down a little bit, actually, to 13. As Joe Doring's been beating Hayato Tamura. I feel like Tamura, if he's going to lose, that's a pretty good spot. I'm curious about, because this is Shingo and Bushi against Kenta and Pac. Really love this match. I would love to probably give it a little bit more time. So, give it like 18. But Pac's going to be beating Bushi there. Really like that match, and I think it's a good little halfway point. Obviously, the heavyweight champion in Kenta and Shingo, that's going to be the top program. So, then probably these are definitely bottom 2 matches. This is probably a technical masterclass. Oh, it's not. Okay, so cool. As Suzuki and Tai Chi against the Disciples of Darkness. So Will Hobbs is going to be beating Suzuki-gun here, as he's going to be beating Suzuki too. Going to keep him strong. He's still pissed, because I want to say Hobbs has better pop in Japan. Yeah, he does. I think it's the right decision, though. I know Suzuki's going to be pissed, but we're trying to make some guys. I can see why this could be the technical masterclass, actually, as the Great O'Khan getting the win, as United Rage going to beat Team Filthy, as Great O'Khan's going to be beating Filthy Tom Lawler there. It's a great win, and I think it's going to be a really good show. Let's see how it goes. 36, oof. Yeah, one of the worst openers, we'll see. Josh Alexander did really well. Everybody else did not so much, but yeah, just not enough overness, really. 57, though, for this matchup. As, I could see why Suzuki might have been a little bit more upset than he probably... because they did the same. 57s for both guys. But Will Hobbs with the Doomsday Plunge, though, in 2012. Good little match, though. At 80 for this tag match. It's Pac beating Bushi with a 450 splash. Kenta with 81, 79 for Pac, 76 for Shingo, 64 for Bushi. 75 for the tag champs against Satoshi Kojima and Hayato Tamura. Hoping for Tamura to get into the 60s by the time we are done with this. But Joe Doering actually didn't do that well compared to what he usually does. A 69 in the Steal the Show match setting. I wonder what happened. Just inconsistency and holding back. Alright. 76, though, for our co-main, is Jay White with the Blade Runner on Hiroki Goto in 27-39. Big win for the House of Torture team. The poor Kiak Pitbulls, they just, not that same team. Goto's definitely brought them down, and, they've been getting outperformed by a lot of teams so far. Hasn't been, their year, but a 77, though, for the Bucks, and, Hiroshi Tanahashi and Katsuyori Shibata. Pretty close, but, really could have went either way. Tanahashi was, 4 points better than Nick Jackson, and Matt was 4 points better than Katsuyori Shibata, so it really could have went either way. But yeah, Matt getting the win with the moonsault in 27-52, not even with the Meltzer driver. So yeah, just a little, or you could have, could have had it just be more bang for your buck, since you can't have secondary, tag team finishers. I wouldn't mind that, but 76, though, for the show. We'll take it. It's on to day 6. We're having a really good tournament, I think, so far. It hasn't been crazy good, but it's been good enough, as far as no one's gotten hurt. I feel like we're developing guys, too. We're giving people that haven't really gotten a shot before in a setting like that. Like, Team Filthy, like Heiao Tamura and Satoshi Kojima. Really giving them an opportunity to really showcase their skills. Even though they're coming up short a lot of times, they're still being able to showcase their skills, which I think is great for everybody involved. As on to day 6, as Suzuki is fucking pissed. Alright, day 6, as it goes to Sayama. Probably not going to be running where this show will be taking place, as Kazuchika Okada is passing on microphone work to his protege Yuta Nakashima. 71 for our previous time here, day 6. I think we'll probably do better, as Kiak Pitbulls and the Young Bucks was that main event, and as faith has it, as we'll have that be the main event of this show as well. That's pretty cool. Hell yeah. Fate is on our side tonight. Yeah, I guess we've kind of ran everywhere in Japan already, as far as that goes, so that sucks. We even run the same place. Because, yeah, was it the, it was that convention center. I don't think we will, though. We might just do it for the lulz of it all. But we'd be definitely way under capacity. So I think we're just going to go with the... maybe not, though. Well, let's just kind of look and see. Yeah, because we haven't ran here since November. It still has been a while. That was at the Wrestle Grand Slam show, so that was only 2 weeks away. Yeah, this one probably makes the most sense, actually, Kanto. But we're still waiting on that, so we're just gonna push back a little bit more. We might run the Akita Gate Arena. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna run this show. But that's fun, though. This gets to be the main again, as Ishii's gonna beat Nick Jackson, which, of course, they had beaten them last time here. So I got a 73, and then, of course, the actual Wrestle Kingdom match got a 78. See what they do. As far as the co-main, it's definitely this, though. Joe Doering and Ashino against Jay White and Miro. Maybe we should have this be the main, because I feel like this is going to be better, as Task Force Death will be losing to the House of Torture team. So that's a great win for House of Torture. That is huge. Absolutely huge, being the tag champ. So yeah, they won't be the main event, actually. But this is another great match here, as Disciples of Darkness and Tanahashi and Shibata. Shibata's going to be beating Calvin Tankman. It's a great win for them. As I know we're going to have this Liberty United Task Force Death match as a 6-man. Alexander Hammerstone, Alex Shelley, and Kaiji Tomato against Eddie Kingston and the Lucha Brothers. But Kingston's going to be beating Kaiji Tomato there. Fun little match. Satoshi Kojima, Heiao Tamura. I thought this would be a technical match class, but it's not. But Tamura is going to get the win, as he's going to be beating Katsuya Kitamura. So that's awesome. And I think we have this as a technical masterclass. Yes, we do. As Josh Alexander is going to be beating Minoru Suzuki of Suzuki, and that's a great win for Josh Alexander. As, yeah, Suzuki's going to be pissed again. As we'll probably end up having this go... Yeah, we'll actually keep it where it's at. We'll have it set to steal the show, because it kind of has to. We'll bump it down to like 13 now. And let's hope nobody gets hurt. 55 though for the opener, as Josh Alexander and Minoru Suzuki are the two best guys in the matchup. The right decision as far as the team getting the win. Probably should have Taichi take the loss though, but I'm just trying to have Suzuki kind of put some guys over and getting some big wins out of this. And I think Josh Alexander definitely deserves this big win as he gets the win in 2008 with TKO. 54 for Hayato Tamura and Satoshi Kojima against Katsuya Kitamura and the Great Okan as Tamura pinning Katsuya Kitamura in 1751. 68 for the sixth man here as Liberty United lose to Task Force Death as Eddie Kingston pinning Gaiji Yamato with the sliding D in 12:42. Some good stuff though, as Alexander Hammerstone was really off his game though. Hurt as far as the overall performance of the match, but Phoenix with a 75, best guy in the match by far. Pentagon Jr. and Alex Shelley with 63s. It's not bad. 2-point difference between the Eddie Kingston Gaiji Yamato though. 77 for this one, as look at Will Hobbs almost outperforming Katsuyori Shibata. That's pretty awesome. But Shibata with the ankle lock on Calvin Tangman, 23:02. It's Tanahashi with a 77, 64 for Shibata. Some good stuff there. It's an 82, so this has definitely been their best match ever, as Tomohiro Ishii pinning Nick Jackson with a vertical drop brainbuster in 27:45. Huge win for the Chaotic Pitbulls. The Young Bucks, though, killing it. Everybody killed it but Goto. See if the main can follow it. It cannot, as Jay White pinning Shotaro Ashino with the Blade Runner in 28:35. It's a great match, though. Just it couldn't have that same juice that the previous match had. But the tag champs taking the loss, though, is Joe Doring. Wasn't even involved in the finish, too. Jay White, the worst guy in the match, pins the best guy in the match. Very interesting. But I love that match, though. It sucks that didn't perform as well as it did. Even got outperformed by this. But yeah, a goofy little card as far as how it kind of played out. But we'll take it, though. Still, I love that Chaotic Pitbulls and Young Bucks should have went with my gut. Had them be the main. As we'll take a look at the standings now. So we just have 3 more nights left as far as 7, 8, and 9. And then we'll be on to the finals, which, a lot's changed now, as far as Tanahashi and Shibata, no longer undefeated. And having the Chaotic Pitbulls beating the Young Bucks, that's definitely changed the trajectory of how the kind of top is looking. As we'll take a look here and see, Tanahashi, Shibata, and Jay White and Miro tied at first place with 10, and the Young Bucks are at 9th. Because of that draw, they're kind of flippy-floppy with a lot of teams where they can either, if let's say both teams lose, as far as at the end, and the Young Bucks can still get a win, they might somehow steal a win in this tag league as far as being either first or second, with them being the odd number. Same thing with Joe Doring and Ashino, which the tag champs are still in 5th, as the Disciples of Darkness have 8 points, which is awesome to see for them. They're really coming together really strong. They've only lost to Tanahashi, Shibata, and Joe Doring and Ashino, which that's not a bad, couple of losses. Still have the Bucks left. They still have the Chaotic Pitbulls as well, and Jay White and Miro. So they have a tough stretch, but they have a great chance to finish with double-digit points. They just got to win one of those 3. And, for Joe Doring and Ashino, obviously, having Tanahashi, Shibata left still, which is pretty nuts to think. Still have Suzuki and Taichi as well, as far as that goes. So that's cool for them. And, we'll see how it all plays out. Again, as far as it's crazy to think that Suzuki-gun and Hayato Tamura and Satoshi Kojima are at the bottom. Tom Law and Josh Alexander with 4, though. And same thing, United Rage with 4. So is the Chaotic Pitbulls. But they've gotten some big wins. They've beaten the tag champs and they've beaten the Young Bucks. So they have definitely been playing the spoiler role of this tournament. And it's just crazy to think they finished with, they finished with 12. I know Yoshihashi had to take over for a bit because Ishii got hurt kind of halfway through. But they didn't even finish in the top 2. It was Sonata Shingo and the Young Bucks. But, we'll see how it all plays out. It's on to night 7. Alrighty, for day 7, they got us in Tokyo. We'll be changing that. So we can run here. As far as we could be about 7,000 shy, but we can also just sell out the Suzukino Mars gym. Guess that's not a terrible idea. As for our main event, probably Jay White and the Young Jay White and Miro against the Bucks. That is quite a matchup, as the Young Bucks will be beating the House of Torture team, which will then give them back the lead with 11. Crazy win for them. As we'll see how Tanahashi and Shibata do, just because, they have... so they're going to be in the lead over the Young Bucks, but with 12. But Tanahashi, Shibata against Team Filthy. And Tanahashi's going to get the win, as Filthy Tom Lawler is going to take the loss there. Then, as far as this is probably going to be the co-main, as Calvin Tankman beating the Kayak Pitbulls. What a huge win, as they have, as far as the Kayak Pitbulls last year, they beat them. It was day 2, they got a 70. We'll see what happens this time around, but that's a huge win for Calvin Tankman, is beating Hiroki Goto there. I'm going to put that there. To be honest, I don't know, though. I think we're actually going to keep it as this schedule, and we'll probably put United Rage and then Joe Doring and Ashino here, with obviously the tag champs beating United Rage. Great O'Khan taking the loss, unfortunately. Then this Chaos LIJ matchup, which I believe is an 8-man. It is, and we're setting this to steal the show, as Sonata's going to be beating Yoshihashi. And Suzuki and Taichi to start off the show against Satoshi Kojima and the Out of Tomorrow, as Taichi's going to be beating Satoshi Kojima. Big win for Taichi, and Suzuki going to kind of get out of their little funk. We're almost 6 minutes shy of hitting the time limit, but this should be an interesting show. It's going pretty long, pretty small venue. We might look and see if we can change it, to be honest. Just kind of look, because, yeah, I mean, it's been a while since we ran Chubu, and we could definitely fit 2,000, easily. Yeah, we'll go with this General Gymnasium. It's probably for the best. 55, though, for the opener. It's Taichi tapping out Satoshi Kojima in 1941. It's Hayato Tomorrow for 55, 50 for Suzuki, 44 for Kojima, 43 for Taichi. 77 for this 8-man, as Sonata pinning Yoshihashi with the rounding body press. Good stuff. So Okada with an 86, 87 for Naito, 81 for Hiromu, 79 for Sonata, 61 for Bushi. I mean, that's just some great stuff there. 71 for United Rage against Joe Doring and Shotaro Ashino. I mean, the Great O'Khan's almost in the 50 range. That's awesome, but we're going to keep on waiting with bated breath. But Ashino tapping out the Great O'Khan with the ankle lock. This is 62 for the Kayak Pitbulls against the Disciples of Darkness. Tough injury for Will Hobbs, as we finally get our first injury of the tournament, as a grade 1 hamstring contusion. That is not good. He might be out for at least the remainder of the tour, which is unfortunate, but at least they got their 10 points before that happened. So even though they don't walk away with both members intact potentially, still a great tournament for the Disciples of Darkness. So 66, as we got a bruised knee from Shibata. Yeah, everyone's kind of feeling the effects of this tour now, 7 days in. It's Tanahashi tapping out Filthy Tom with another Texas Cloverleaf. I might just change that to a secondary finish, because I'm tired of seeing it. He might still be hitting it on guys, though, like especially Filthy Tom Lawler, but just, I mean, Josh Alexander almost outperformed Ketsuro Shibata, so that's pretty crazy. Filthy Tom was the one who caused it, so a lot of heat backstage on him. But an 82 main event, the Young Bucks beating the House of Torture team, even though Miro and Jay White outperformed Matt Jackson. So the wrong team wins. Hell of a performance from Jay White and Miro. A couple of Gaijins, though, battling out. Jay White taking the Meltzer driver in 28-16. Pretty good show, though. Almost an 80. As far as the co-main really didn't deliver. This match was crazy, though. I knew it was going to do really, really well. Probably should have just had that be the co-main, to be honest. But what can you do? What can you do? As, now we're going on to our final 2 days of the tournament. Days 8 and 9. We have quite the show as far as lined up here. Quite the final stretch with the Young Bucks, House of Torture, and Hiroshi Tanahashi, Katsuri Shibata as really our final three teams. And we'll see if any other team can kind of sneak in there. I know, as far as Joe Doring and Ishino getting really close. I don't think the Disciples of Darkness are going to get it done now that Will Hobbs is potentially out of the tournament. But, yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty fun. Oh my god, they just signed him. That's crazy. Sheamus getting released. What in the world? Well, let's see if we can sign him back. I don't think he'll. I think we'll probably be able to. So we'll try an exclusive handshake deal. Maybe bump that up to about 3,000 a month or per show. At 12,000 gift. All right. I mean, he did pretty well for us in the. Oh my God, Cody got released. Who else is getting released from AEW? My God. Oh, let's see. One half a Private Party. Oh, Brian Cage. Well, not designing Brian Cage or Jake Hager. But, it's so weird that every time they just every year it seems like they just kind of go on a spree and let people go. Very strange. Oh, Tony Schiavone's got released. Man, oh man. So, yeah, we got Kingston's on an exclusive now. That's tough. That's big tough. As, yeah, we're a couple of days away. I do want to look and see how, oh, well, I was going to work through it. Okay. So he'll be back in time, healthy to go for the Day 8 show. How cool. Alrighty, Day 8, we got a backstage instance. Ryu Lee and Tanahashi is brought for Russell's court, accusing Peng failing to pick up his share of the tab at the bar, as the judge Hiroshi Tanahashi found him guilty and sentenced to buy drinks for everyone after the show. Ryu Lee being driven took that with motivating force. Poor Tomato Juice, the former tag league participant. We can't obviously do that again with Juice being out. Damn shame, really. Let's see where we're at here. Yeah, we can go a lot of different places now, as far as we can go Hiroshima Sun Plaza for this show. Probably wants to run the Sapporo Dome again, kind of back to back, as far as for November and December, but I think that's probably not a good idea. Probably not a good idea. Maybe somewhere in Osaka, too, as far as maybe Osaka Joe Hall. Not a... Oh, probably the PayPay Dome. That's probably for the best, actually. Just kind of thinking that. So, yeah, I mean, we could probably run Kanto, now I'm thinking about it. If it's a night that's worth a... So we got the Bucks and Disciples of Darkness. That's pretty good. Tanahashi, Shibata against Hayata Tamura, Satoshi Kojima. So Jason Lee with Liberty United, Kaiji Tamano, Alex Shelley against Task Force Death. Not the greatest of nights on paper, so it probably won't be running Kanto. Yeah, we might run the Hiroshima Sun Plaza. That's not too bad, being about 4,000 shy. The sale, that's not too bad. As far as the main, that's a good question, because I really want to have this Disciples of Darkness Young Bucks match be it. And Hobbs is going to beat the Young Bucks. What a night this is. I mean, that's a huge win for them. As far as the Young Bucks, they beat them last year during the Tag League, which got a 64, and they got a 62 for the Sakura Genesis The Road 2 show in April. And the match that happened in the U.S. got a 57, so... we'll see kind of what we're going to get out of that, if it's going to be mid-60s or not. I think this will be a little bit better than that. Matt Jackson's not too happy about taking the loss. We'll talk him into it by keeping him strong. But Tanahashi and Shibata, the reason why I want to have this as the co-main is because Hayao Tamura is going to be beating Hiroshi Tanahashi. So some big upsets this night, and this is kind of like a prelude to when Tanahashi, after his last kind of trial series match with Hayao Tamura, really put him over. It's like, this kid's going to be the future, and he's going to feel the future with Hayao Tamura beating him. And I figured he was going to be furious. I was hoping he'd kind of get threatened into it. But we'll take it. As the Chaotic Pitbulls versus Filthy Tom and Josh Alexander. That's a pretty good match. Goto's going to get the win. So he's going to beat Tom Lawler there. I do like that Joe Doring and Shotaro Ashino match. I'm assuming it's going to be a technical match. Oh, it's not. So Ashino's going to get the win over Suzuki-gun. As Taichi taking the loss there. We'll bump that up, actually. Oh, didn't mean to hit that. That hasn't been updated since the last episode anyway, so not that big of a deal. As this is probably the technical masterclass match, I guess. Yes, as United Rage against House of Tortures. Miro's going to get the win. And I'm assuming this will be Steal the Show, as Jason Lee with Liberty United taking on Pac and the Lucha Dragons. About the Lucha Dragons, as the Lucha Brothers. Jason Lee beating Pentagon Jr. Obviously, you know, as far as Jason Lee and the challengers for the Super Junior Tag Team Champs, or the Super Junior Tag Team winners, Tag League winners, and the Tag Team Champions. It's a little prelude for Wrestle Kingdom. Do love that match, though. We'll see how Jason Lee can do with Liberty United. Fun night, though. I'm excited to see how everything plays out. 66 for the opener. Jay White and Miro do really, really well, even in the technical match class setting. Figured so. So Khan and Katsuya Kitamura taking the loss as Gretel Khan getting put in the game over by Miro. The 77. It's really good. Jason Lee with a 52, 54 for Kaiju Tamano's. Jason Lee was really off his game. So was Phoenix. Alex Shelley with a 66. There we go. As the Sunset Flip Powerbomb, I want to say, was the finish of that one. As Filthy Dom Lawler taking the GTR. And then a lariat from Ishii, getting pinned by Goto in 1823. So Ishii got the 70, that makes sense. So Goto outperformed Josh Alexander, but at least Josh is kind of getting into the 50s, or somewhat has been in the 50s throughout this tour. 69 for Suzuki and Taichi against Shotaro Ashino. And Joe Doring as the tag champs, kind of mulling over Suzuki-gun. So Ashino with the ankle lock over Taichi in 1620. It's a 67 for Tanahashi and Shibata against Hayato Tamura and Satoshi Kojima. What a win for Hayato Tamura in 24 minutes. Taps out the ace. I don't know why he's not hitting its finishers, but that's okay. So he's getting the win, though, over Hiroshi Tanahashi, and that's a huge-ass win. As a 70 for our main event, Will Hobbs pinning Matt Jackson with the Doomsday Plunge. Hobbs was best guy for his team, and Jackson was worst guy for his team, but another upset. And that definitely shakes up the standings going into the final night. So what a show that was. A lot of big-time upsets, a lot of people thinking, oh, this is how it's going to go. And it going the complete opposite way of what we had as far as, really a lot of the top teams lost that night. Besides Task Force Death, they ended up winning their night, so that's going to be huge for them. We'll take a look at the standings before we go into our final tournament night. But a lot's happening, as far as, some of the top teams having some costly losses, and looking at the Young Bucks, and, the Disciples of Darkness with a huge win, too. They might be in a great, great spot as far as what they can do going forward. As for, we'll look and see what it's looking like. Is, we have a three-way tie for first with 12 points. The Disciples of Darkness, Tanahashi and Shibata, and Jay White and Miro. So the Disciples of Darkness, they have a very, very big time matchup with Jay White and Miro. Depending on how that goes, will determine who's going to be in the finals with Tanahashi and Shibata if they do win. Now, if they lose, though, it comes down to what's going to happen with Joe Doring and Ashino and the Young Bucks. To have a 5-team race, it's crazy. We had a top 5 and a bottom 5. It was very clear looking at the standings there. You had 5 teams in the top, in double digits, and then you had 5 teams that didn't even make double digits in Kayak Pitbulls, Suzuki, Taichi, Kojima, and Hayato Tamura, Tom Lawler, and Josh Alexander, the United Rage team. So very clear on who was the top 5 and the bottom 5. But we have a shootout to end out the tournament, and this should be very, very fun, and there's going to be a lot of math involved to see who's going to get where. Can't wait to see how it all plays out, as we got to do a strong taping real quick, and then we'll be there for day 9. Alright, so, I accidentally, as far as, I figured Tom Lawler, as far as, I wanted to put him in a match at strong, just to kind of help him out a little bit, to help get him, some wins. I know, because he's been losing a little bit during this tour on strong, which is a bad idea, because I am getting hurt, because of course he did. So luckily it's just a lower leg contusion, so he's able to work, but it's just funny that, we had somebody had a contusion. But as far as his is on the leg, a lower leg, well, it's obviously we had one on the hamstring, but luckily he's able to work through it. As for backstage incidents, so Nick was brought for a wrestler's court and accused of failing to pick up a share of the tab on the shared rental cars. The judge, Hiroshi Tanahashi, found him guilty and sentenced to pay the full costs and reimburse, I'm assuming, Matt Jackson there, as Milano collected AT, passing on tips on using psychology to Yasu Takayano. Alrighty, so, again, is this a Kanto show? It might be, as because it is the final night, and I think the final night of the tour, I think that makes sense to run this in Cork, and just makes sense from that perspective to have it be at a Cork and Hall show. Which is crazy to think Cork and Hall, as we're recording this, as far as we're now, in April of 2022, 60 years that fucking venue has been open. That is insane. Obviously, both All Japan and New Japan, they're coming up on their 50th anniversaries as well, which is just insane to think about. As for the main event, as far as we have so many options, since we have 3 teams with 12 and 2 with 11, really any type of combination between those 5 teams should be the main. As we'll probably do this as the main, Tanahashi Shibata against Joe Doring and Ashino, with, you see there, Tanahashi and Shibata beating the Task Force Death Team. Of course, this match was supposed to take place during the Wrestle Dynasty show, but of course Tanahashi got hurt and got replaced by Rin Narita. Boy, that was a shit show and a half. But this match should go very, very well. Tanahashi beating Ashino as well. I love it. Absolutely love that. Yeah, I mean, Jay White and Miro against Disciples of Darkness, that's probably the co-main. And Miro will be beating Will Hobbs, so that will mean 14 for this team, 14 for this team. That is going to be our finals. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Katsuyori Shibata. This is Jay White and Miro to see who's going to be the team to take on Joe Doring and Ashino, which is interesting enough because you see that, Tanahashi and Shibata and Jay White and Miro have both beaten Joe Doring and Ashino just in this tournament. I think a lot of people probably would have assumed that Joe Doring and Ashino would have kind of ran through this tag league, but they did not, and they're going to fall to 11 points, which, as far as, right now they're at 4th. We haven't even seen what the Young Bucks are going to do against, which, the Young Bucks are probably going to be a win short, as the Young Bucks, they are going to be beating Filthy Tom and Josh Alexander. Nick Jackson's going to be pinning Filthy Tom. But afterwards, Josh Alexander, as far as, he doesn't even try to help out, Tom Lawler up to his feet. He just leaves him kind of high and dry in the middle of the ring by himself. Definitely the frustration showing there. A team that finished with, 4 points. As, not great. Not a great performance. Not a great outing your first time in this tag league. And you fall short, especially someone like Josh Alexander, who was one of the best one of the best tag guys in the U.S. for a good bit there for him and Ethan Page. It's crazy to think, that they haven't teamed in a couple of years now, but they were, Monster Mafia. That was a hell of a team, especially on the independents, as far as in the U.S. goes. And you could see the frustration on display there. But Cockpit Bulls and Kojima and Hayato Tamura, Ishii's going to get the win there for the Cockpit Bulls, which they're going to finish with 8. That's nice for them. It sucks to see, as far as they, lost 5 and won 4. Couldn't quite, obviously with 9 matches, can't get like 50-50 or anything like that, but pretty close to 50% tournament for them. And then for Suzuki and Taichi and United Rage, Technical Masterclass with Minoru Suzuki getting the win for Suzuki-gun over United Rage, beating Katsuya Kinemura. Tough loss for them, as we need a match. I just realized for this 9th day, completely forgot about the 9th day match, which, I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna do for this matchup here, to be honest. We need a Steal the Show match, so maybe something in that vein. Yeah, I think maybe Kenta with the Lucha Brothers. And we'll have Shingo And we'll throw Hiromu and Bushi out there. I know it's kind of weird to have Hiromu and now a former junior guy, now heavyweight guy, teaming up with Bushi again, but I just feel like that's for the best. About to say, we've done the 10-man of this, but not a 6-man of this. So, we'll, 14. Hiromu can be beating Pentagon Jr. there. Fun little match, though. It should go pretty well. As, we'll have this go after the angle, and I like this a lot. But fun little show. Or, we'll see how it runs as far as the final night of the tournament. It's Minoru Suzuki pinning Katsuya Kitamura after the reverse DDT backbreaker. Suzuki, best guy in the match, followed by Taichi, or actually followed by Great Okan, then Taichi, then Kitamura. 67th, the Kayak Pitbulls against Seao Tamura and Satoshi Kojima. So Tamura, he outperformed Goto. So that's awesome. That's really awesome. 70 for the Young Bucks against Josh Alexander and Filthy Tom Lawler. It's Nick Jackson with the Meltzer driver in 22-14. Boy, that angle did not go well at all. An 80 for Los Ingobernables de Japón against Task Force Death as Hiromu Takahashi with the triangle choke over Pentagon Jr. in 14-11. It's a really good match, though. Kenta and Hiromu killing it. Shingo and Rey Fenix doing a really good job. And Bushi and Pentagon Jr. doing a really good job as well. It's a 77 for our co-main event as Miro tapping out Will Hobbs with game over. Great showing for the Disciples of Darkness, but just fell a little bit short of the House of Torture team. And our main events in 82 as Tanahashi and Shibata beating Shotaro Ashino and Joe Doring. It's Tanahashi with the Texas Cloverleaf again. He beat him with the high fly flow. God damn it, I'm sick of that. We got our tournament is in the books. We got a 79 again. I was hoping for an 80, but that's okay. Really good show. We got to change Tanahashi's finishers. I'm tired of using that Texas Cloverleaf all the time. But, now we got our final show, which I didn't have anything pre-booked for this final show. So we'll take a break to put that all together. I do know I want to have, obviously, our finals. But I also want to see, as far as I would love to have Kenny Omega team up the Bucks to take on Ibushi and the team. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Takanori Ito was a tough loss, because I was thinking about it. I was like, man, he'd be fun to have. Just been kind of eyeing and buying my time with him, and trying to give him a 2-year deal, and I was just like, we'll wait. We'll wait, because he'll be 30 by the time that deal comes up, but that one hurt. That one definitely hurt. Dragon, they tried to steal Sonata, too. Like, which hopefully they didn't. That would suck if they did. That'd be so funny. But I think we got that deal signed. Hopefully. So it hasn't signed yet. Oh boy, okay, so it's still the only one that he's seriously considering. That could have been bad. But yeah, we'll catch you guys for the Tag League Finals. Alright, the finals of the World Tag League. As the final show looks a bit like this. Of course, we already know the finals. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Katsura and Katsura Shibata versus Jay White and Miro. Of course, the winner takes on our tag champs at Wrestle Kingdom. Then we have a Task Force Death, which, speaking of the tag champs, plus the heavyweight champion, Kenta, taking on LIJ of Shingo Takagi, Sanada, and Hiromu Takahashi. So we'll see if Hiromu and Sanada can be on the same page here against the tag champs. It's Kazuchika Okada and Rocky Romero going to take on Tetsuya Naito and Bushi. So a bit of the match we had during the tour, but instead of Francesco, it's Rocky Romero. It's Kota Ibushi in 1 or 8. Ryusuke Taguchi and Master Wato take on the Elite. Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson. Very excited to see how that plays out. And then Dark Order versus the Foundation in an 8-man. As it's going to be, or 6-man rather, excuse me. As I thought it was going to be an 8-man, but no, it's a 6-man. It's Dark Order of Brody Lee with the Disciples of Darkness taking on the Foundation of Power E, Shelton Benjamin, and King Mo. As a fun little tag match, you have Jason Lee teaming up with Togi Makabe versus Pac and Eddie Kingston. It's just crazy. All the tag champs, as part of Task Force. I mean, literally, everybody but like Homicide and Shota Umino, rather, everybody else in the stable has a belt, so it's just kind of crazy how it really is. They got all the gold right now, and we'll see how it goes as far as for them from Wrestle Kingdom. As then Zack Sabre Jr. and Daniel Makabe take on Evil and Black Taurus. Figure that'd be a fun little match as an undercard matchup. Then Team Filthy, all of Team Filthy, taking on Hayato Tamura, Hiroshi Tenzan, Satoshi Kojima, Tamaki Hanma to kick off the show. That is what we got, and we are going to be running this show at the PayPay Dome, 40,000 strong on hand. Should be very exciting, as of course our main event. See if I can find it. We have so many notes. As usually it should be. Oh, there it is. This is Jay White, Miro, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Katsuri Shibata, with Tanahashi beating Miro, which is fun since that was a match that we did on night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom, which Miro won and defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi. So it's just crazy to think Tanahashi going in as a tag team challenger for Wrestle Kingdom. Him and Katsuri Shibata, of course, those two. The story there, former, as far as former of the Three Musketeers, the next generation of Three Musketeers, of course, Shibata leaving, then coming back, and they have a bit of a spat, but of course, have made amends since that time, and have really grown to be great friends like they were back before Shibata left. And to have that kind of story, to have them be the ones to face the Task Force Death team, of course, a team that's wanting to destroy New Japan, wanting to see the death of New Japan. I mean, you got two of the favorite sons, if you will, of New Japan taking on Task Force Death, and that's kind of what happens to at the celebration afterwards. With the little check and all the pictures, all everyone at ringside. Out they come, and they don't beat them down. It's more of this is a message that they're going to send to them. Like, they're going to send New Japan's favorite sons packing on New Japan's biggest show, and they're still going to be the IWGP Tag Team Champions. But also, there's a post-show press conference for the losers of Jay White and Miro, and Jay White takes his time and saying, listen, we came up short. House of Torture's not done yet, though, for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and mark my words, we're going to be on that Wrestle Kingdom card, and he challenges Zack Sabre Jr. to a Rev Pro heavyweight title matchup, and we'll see what Zack, as far as says for that challenge. So it looks like we're going to have another match added to Wrestle Kingdom, potentially in Jay White and Zack Sabre Jr., so that should be a lot of fun. See how that goes. As was that marked? Okay, that was not marked as a post-show press conference, so we gotta add that. There we go. So put that there. As now for the rest of the card. As for the co-main, of course, Task Force Death and LIJ should be this match. The big ass 6-man, which Kenta is going to beat Sonata after some miscommunication from. We'll say, Hiromu and Sonata kind of wanting to. We'll say by both. Because it really is by both. They're just, trying to, getting a little handsy between the two. Sonata really eager to prove himself, but also wanting to be, for the first time in his career in New Japan, a singles champ. It's Kazuchika Okada, Rocky Romero, Naito, and Bushi, as Naito's going to beat Rocky Romero. We've done this before, yeah, we've done this probably a handful of times. Huh. Guess we've never done this as a tag match. That's cool. But Naito's going to get the win, though, over Rocky Romero. Then the 6-man, Kenny Omega and the Bucks, the Elite, as we got to put Omega in the stable. Take on Kota Ibushi in 1 or 8, as we didn't pick the finish yet. But I think we're going to have Omega, beat Master Wato. That's just going to be funny. Maybe Taguchi, just to kind of put a little salt in the wound. A Wrestle Kingdom match at one point in time. Him and Taguchi, but yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun there. And then we got the Dark Order Foundation matchup. It's Dark Order beating the Foundation's Brody's going to beat King Mo there. That's also going to go 20. And the Jason Lee Makabe matchup, which we have this going 20 as well. We could probably bump that down, actually, to 16, as Eddie Kingston is going to be beating Togi Makabe there. Then we got Zach and Makabe against Evil and Black Taurus. We're going to set this for Steal the Show, as Zach's going to get the win over Evil. So that's why we put Zach on the card, to kind of be like, kind of keep him in the same light as far as with Jay White challenging him, to kind of be like, oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, Zach's tremendous, and I feel like we kind of let him down kind of towards the back half of the year. He wasn't a part of the tag league. He wasn't really doing a whole lot, and yeah, I feel like he definitely deserves to be on the Wrestle Kingdom card. So it was Jay White. So yeah, I just felt like that's kind of, and I feel like Jay White would be a perfect challenger for the Rev Pro title too, as Team Filthy taking on Tomoaki Hanma, Yada Tamura, and Tenkoji. As Tamura is going to beat Dominic Guarini, but also there's going to be some shenanigans going on, as far as there's a pull apart between Tom and Josh. So Filthy Tom is getting held back by Guarini, and Josh Alexander is getting held back by Garcia. You know, you could see the tension. You know, it's been building and building for Josh Alexander. He's a guy who believes he has the potential to be a big name in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and has proved it as far as his showings on Strong, and he's wanted to do well here in the actual, in Japan, and just hasn't really gone his way. Maybe something can happen here. Probably gave that a little too much time. 3 minutes might be a little too much between that. Maybe 2, just a minute off. But I think that's kind of all I want to do as far as angles and whatnot. A couple of pre-show matches probably that we can do. Let's see what we got. Because we got a lot of names that are not on this main card. I would like to see maybe the Super Iron Destroyers. You know, them and the Pitbulls would have been cool. Maybe Davey. Yeah, maybe Davey Boy Smith Jr. We could maybe do a 6-man of that. Now I'm thinking about it. We can do Super Iron Destroyers with Hammerstone against Suzuki, Davey Boy, and then Tai Chi as well. Yeah, 17, I guess is fine. As Tai Chi's going to be beating Hammerstone. I just love Tai Chi, and I just want his pop to be better, and his momentum to be better. We're going to try. Till it's just I throw in the towel, but his momentum's shit, and we got to try to fix that as fast as we can. So I think we're going to have United Rage beat the Gods of War. Here, their pop is pretty standard, but Victor's is a little bit better than both. Maybe not Kitamura, but definitely Okan's. So that could be a nice win for the Great Okan over Connor Kratos, or Victor Kratos rather, since they're going to be gone relatively soon. All right, that's our card. Let's run the show. 48, and Victor Kratos breaks his jaw. Great. Okay, but Katsuya Kitamura actually did pretty well. 52. That's not bad. Not bad. That was a big lariat from the Great Okan. As Katsuya Kitamura caused it. So the next pre-show matchup, 6-man Liberty United Suzuki-gun as, yeah, I mean, Hammerstone, definitely a couple of stops behind, Tai Chi, a couple of steps behind him, but Jeff Cobb is with a 58, 57s for David Boy and Suzuki, and a 60 for Tonari. So, right decision there. Nanari was off his game too, and was the best guy in the match. That's cool for him. 51 for the opener. As Filthy Tom's injury hurting him really bad. Hanma, we haven't really used him in a while, and I can see why. His performance rating is in the shitter. Not good at all. He might be someone on the chopping block as well, for sure. And the angle's a 34, not great there. Probably should have done the acting instead of entertainment, because now it's like a promo, but it really wasn't supposed to be that, but that's okay. 7-9, though, for this tag match, as Zack Sabre Jr. and Daniel Makabe doing really, really good, as they get the win over Evil and Taurus. As, yeah, I mean, Evil was the worst guy in the match. That's pretty crazy. Good win, though, for Zack Sabre Jr. It's a 75 for Jason Lee and Togi Makabe over Eddie Kingston and Pac. I had a feeling I was going to be too short. I just knew it. I was like, man, Pac's in the match. But Pac with a 90, I mean, he's just at a whole nother level right now as far as awesomeness. And he's definitely proven to be one of the best juniors in the world. Dark Order, the Foundation, as Brody Lee pinning King Mo after the running big boot. It's Brody Lee with an 83. 61 for Calvin Tankman, 60 for Will Hobbs, 67 for Power E, completely missed that, and then 57 for Shelton Benjamin, and 50 for King Mo. So yeah, definitely Dark Order team doing way better than the Foundation. 81 for Omega with the Bucks against Master Wato, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Kota Ibushi. Of course, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, the co-main of Wrestle Kingdom. Plus, Kenny Omega will be putting his AEW heavyweight title on the line to add a little incentive to that matchup. Can Kenny Omega finally defeat his Golden Lover? We shall see. Is a 88 for this tag match. Tetsuya Naito beating Rocky Romero at the Destino in 2015. I figured it was going to be really, really good. That's another crazy-ass match. That Wrestle Kingdom card, I feel sorry for that main event, because there ain't a goddamn way they're going to top this match or even the Golden Lovers singles match. I mean, this card's going to be crazy. We got an 84 for this one here, as Task Force Death get the win, and Kenta getting the go-to-sleep win after the miscommunication for Sonata and Hiromu. As, yeah, I mean, Hiromu with a 93, Kenta with a 91, Shina with an 89, 78 for Joe Doring, 75 for Shingo, and a 76 for Sonata. It's nice to see the guy who won the G1 is main eventing Wrestle Kingdom with Kenta. It was the best and worst guys in the match. 83, though, for our Tag League Finals, as Tanahashi and Shibata win it. Tanahashi with the high fly flow, a 90 for Hiroshi Tanahashi. I love to see that. Jay White with the 75 and 77 for Miro. 66 for poor Katsuri Shibata. It's a post, show angle. We picked Hiromu instead of Hiroshi Tanahashi. That's great. Love to see that. And then Jay White's little post-show press conference challenging Zack Sabre Jr. to a Rev Pro title matchup at Wrestle Kingdom. We'll see what Zack Sabre Jr. has for that as far as his response. We had a pretty good tour, nothing too crazy, but I think it was a pretty good tag league for all things considered, and it's crazy to think that got an 88. I don't know how, but thank God we did. We're trying to give Shingo as much love as we can going into his match. I would, as far as maybe Shibata, getting some love for him as well, to try to get him on the right path. Really, Omega, as far as his performance, did pretty well. Of course, he came up short against Okada at Wrestle Dynasty, so maybe we can see what he can do against Kota Ibushi in Japan, which you saw there a little bit. He did an 85, so he should be doing very, very well for Wrestle Kingdom. But that will do it for this episode 31 in the books. And now it is on to the Tokyo Dome, on to Wrestle Kingdom. I can't believe it. Wrestle Kingdom 16 will be our second Wrestle Kingdom of the series. Technically our third, if you want to, count it as two nights being, two different shows. But I'm very, very excited to see what we do. And also, it's nice to see New Japan getting some spotlight from Zack Sabre Jr. Oh, way to go, Zack. way to actually do more harm than good. We could say that's when he, on national television, responds to Jay White. He accepted it, but he kind of, did it in a way that kind of demeaned him in a way, so we'll say it backfired. That's fun, though. We can add some continuity into the game. That's cool. But Filthy Tom Lawler, again, now let's see what Cesaro's going. It's crazy. I'm not really sure what I was wanting to do with him, because obviously he's in the Noah series, and his pop's okay, but it's like we have a lot of Gaijins already. Our roster's already bloated, so I don't want to bring him in just because I love him. I want it to have a story with him and whatnot, and I just don't have anything for him, unfortunately. It's crazy to think, but he got signed by IWA Mid-South finally, and he's been, he's not really been doing anything for a little bit of time, but it's finally his first match was in IWA Mid-South, so for him to be in Evolve, at least that makes sense, and whatnot, as Filthy Tom's left AEW, because we got him an exclusive deal, weirdly enough. Probably a mistake, actually going forward, but that's okay. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time for Wrestle Kingdom. Take care, everyone.